Echoes of Honor, Jim's Story, Episode 1, The Letter That Changed Everything.
My name is Jim Carter. I'm 75 now, and there are days I still wake up thinking I'm 20, sweating in the jungles of Vietnam. This is my story, not of glory or medals, but of the truth, the kind you live with. It all started with a letter. It was 1967. I was 19, fresh out of high school in Nebraska. I was helping my old man fix tractors on our farm when the envelope came, a plain, white envelope with a blue stamp. I remember my mother's hands shaking as she handed it to me. "It's from the government," she whispered. I opened it. My draft notice. My father didn't say much. He just nodded and went back to fixing the carburetor. But my mother cried for the rest of the day. I didn't know how to feel. Scared, proud, angry, maybe all of it. 2 weeks later, I was on a bus to basic training in Fort Polk, Louisiana. They shaved my hair, took my name, and turned me into Private Carter. Basic training was hell. It wasn't just the physical part. It was the yelling, the constant pressure, the way they stripped you down until you forgot who you were. Then they built you back up into a soldier. I met guys from all over: New York, Alabama, even Puerto Rico. One of them was Eddie Martinez, a kid with a laugh like a machine gun. We stuck together like brothers. You had to. 3 months later, orders came in. We were going to Vietnam. My mom sent me a care package before I left. Cookies, socks, a picture of our dog, Molly. I didn't tell her I cried when I saw that photo. We landed in Da Nang in late October. The heat hit me like a wall. It was wet, heavy, like breathing through a wet towel. And the smells: mud, smoke, something rotting. It never left you. We were assigned to the 196th Light Infantry Brigade. Our base was near Chulai. First night, mortars hit. I dove into the dirt, heart pounding like a drum. Welcome to Vietnam. My platoon leader was Lieutenant Harris, young and by the book, the kind who polished his boots even in the jungle. Our sergeant was something else, big, black, and silent. Just called him Sarge. Nobody messed with Sarge. Our first patrol was through rice paddies. You couldn't see the enemy, but they could see you. I remember stepping into a paddy and feeling something soft, a body. Vietnamese. Could have been a farmer or a VC. That night, Eddie couldn't sleep. Neither could I. We talked about home, his girlfriend, my mom's cooking, anything but where we were, anything but the dead man in the mud. Over the next weeks, we saw more action: ambushes, booby traps, screams in the night, and blood. Always the blood. It gets in your boots, under your fingernails. It stays with you. One day, while sweeping a village, we met an old woman and her grandson. She gave us tea. Her eyes were tired but kind. As we left, someone found a radio under her floorboards. VC. We didn't go back. I asked Sarge later, what if she didn't know? He just said, "You ask that question too many times, you don't come home." I started writing letters home every week. I never told my parents the full truth. How could I? I wrote about the weather, the guys. I told them I was safe. I lied. One night, we were on watch when Eddie whispered, "Jim, you ever think about not coming back?" I didn't answer, but I did, every day. Then came December 14th, the day that changed everything. We were sent to escort a supply convoy. It was supposed to be routine. It never is. Halfway through the route, the first truck exploded. Landmine. The convoy stopped. Then the jungle lit up. Gunfire from everywhere. Ambush. We hit the dirt. I fired blind into the trees. Screams. Smoke. My ears rang. I saw Eddie next to me, firing back, yelling something I couldn't hear. A bullet grazed my helmet. Another tore through the radio man's chest. He died in Sarge's arms, still holding the mic. We fought for what felt like hours. Then, just as fast as it started, it stopped. Silence. The kind that screams. Afterward, we counted our dead. 6 from our unit, 3 from the convoy. Eddie was among them. I sat in the mud, staring at his body. I didn't cry. Not then. I couldn't. I just kept thinking about his machine gun laugh, about the cookies he never got to eat. That night, I wrote a letter to his mother. I told her he was brave, that he died quick. I don't know if that was true, but I had to write it. For her. For me. When I finally got back to base, I sat alone and stared at the jungle. I was 19, and I felt 100. That was just the beginning of everything. Of the man I'd become, of the ghosts I'd carry. This was the first chapter of my story, not a tale of victory, but of truth. I owe it to the ones who didn't come home, and to those of us who did, but not whole. Next time, tell you what happened in Ki-san, where hell had a name. Until then, remember Eddie. Remember all of them. Echoes of Honor. End of episode 1. If you find this program interesting, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.